Today I'm going to be ranking every NFL mascot. 4 teams don't happen to have official mascots. That would be the Green Bay Packers, the Washington Redskins, the New York Jets, and the New York Giants because they are a bunch of no fun poopy heads. But I will be ranking their unofficial mascots as well today. Ready? Alright, here we go. Green Bay Packers, the Cheeseheads. Whenever I think of this cheese, I always think of the cheese touch from Diver Wimpy Kid. Seriously, who even likes this stink cheese from Wisconsin? I know I don't. Anybody who eats this type of cheese is a sicko. Oh, I think I'm gonna be sick. Ranking 0 out of 10. New York Giants, this giant nutcracker thing. Seriously, what even is this thing? It looks like somebody that's gonna come and eat you in the middle of the night. Do better, Giants. Ranking 2 out of 10. New York Jets, Fireman Ed. Fireman Ed was a New York Jets superfan who attended every single home game for over 30 years. Unfortunately, though, he was driven into retirement by that horrible butt fumble play on the Thanksgiving night by Mark Sanchez. That is one thing I can't forgive him for, is retiring early, though. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to deduct a couple points for that. Sorry, Ed. Ranking 5 out of 10. Washington Redskins, Chief Z. Chief Z was another superfan that attended many years of Washington Redskins home games. He was known throughout the land and was loved by many. However, unfortunately in 2016, he passed away. He's still missed by many people to this day, and I'm going to give him extra points for how passionate he was with the Washington Redskins. Ranking 10 out of 10. Rest in peace, Chief Z. The team's official mascots, number 1 would be the Raiders' Raider Rusher. Seriously, what even is this thing? Why does he have no torso? Why does he look like Mike Wazowski if Mike Wazowski was white and actually had 2 eyes? Seriously, what is with this thing? Ranking 0 out of 10. Indianapolis Colts, Blue. This horse looks more like a dog to me, and anything, those eyes are crazy. But I can understand why he'd be going crazy, because every time these Colts seem to get a good quarterback, they always seem to get shipped off to the Broncos right as they're getting good. Ranking 1 out of 10. Atlanta Falcons, Freddie Falcon. Freddie looks like he just got blasted in the face with a shotgun. His feathers look more like a bunch of leaves that were just glued on together willy-nilly, and honestly, his eyes look cold and lifeless. Can't blame the poor guy, though, after all the blown leads and the legacy of failure of his team. Even then, I'm going to have to deduct points for how horrible this thing looks. Ranking 1 out of 10. Miami Dolphins, TD. TD is an okay looking mascot, but honestly gets killed by the eyes. Also, I found out that TD doesn't actually stand for anything. You would think it stands for touchdown, but it actually stands for the Dolphin. The Dolphin. Ranking 1 out of 10. Seriously, so unoriginal, guys. Come on. Whatever happened to Flipper? Tennessee Titans, T-Rack. T-Rack is a pretty good-looking raccoon mascot. The issue here is he represents the Tennessee Titans, and instead of having a cool-looking titan, they instead made their mascot the state animal, the raccoon. Plus, he is pretty crazy, though, and he does some pretty disturbing things, so I'm going to have to deduct points for that. Ranking 2 out of 10. Cowboys, Rowdy. Rowdy, much like me, smiles through all the pain of every single Cowboys season. He knows as well as I do, as long as Jerry Jones is the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, we will never return to our full glory of the 90s and 70s. I feel for you, Rowdy. I definitely feel you, but your smile is super creepy, so for that I'm deducting points as well. Ranking 2 out of 10. New Orleans Saints, Sir Saint. Alright guys, I don't know what the idea was here, but for some reason they gave him a gigantic chin. Are they trying to mimic him after the Crimson Chin from the Fairly Odd Parents? Because that's all I think of when I see this guy. He looks super creepy and there's nothing intimidating about him at all. I will, however, give him extra points because I do like his sidekick dog Gumbo, but Gumbo is not the main mascot. Ranking 3 out of 10. Jacksonville Jaguars, Jackson DeVille. I actually love the name. It's very catchy and obviously represents the city in which the team plays. The issue here is the execution. Instead of some cool looking Jaguar, we get this weirdo. But I will award him extra points for bravery because he bungee jumps off the stadium before every single game, and this man does not hold back anything. Just look at the way he handles this Texan fan. What a champ. Ranking 3 out of 10. New England Patriots, Pat the Patriot. Whenever I see this guy, I think of Martin Short in Pure Luck after he gets stung by a bee. Yes, that's just how my mind works, I'm that old. This guy is super creepy looking and has nothing intimidating about him at all. Those dead beady eyes, I'm starting to believe he is the reason Tom Brady left for Tampa. I wouldn't blame Tom either. Ranking 3 out of 10. Minnesota Vikings, Victor. Victor here looks like he just walked in on somebody taking a massive dump in his bathroom, and then he turns back and realizes he doesn't know who that person is. He does look the part of a Viking, which I do like, and I like the blonde locks, but honestly, the eyes kind of kill this mascot for me, so I'm going to have to deduct some points for that. Ranking 4 out of 10. Baltimore Ravens, Poe. I like the way the mascot looks, but I hate the name. Poe is named after Baltimore native Edgar Allan Poe, who married his 13-year-old cousin when he was 27 years old. What a hero! Ranking 4 out of 10. Los Angeles Rams, Rampage. Rampage is a pretty solid looking ram, but I don't like the fact that he looks like a tiger cub in the face, and also his eyes look so angry. And I say angry because I know that's the look they were going for, but without teeth and the fact that he's squinting, to me, kinda looks like an old man that's lost his dentures. Ranking 4 out of 10. San Francisco 49ers, Sourdough Sam. Sourdough Sam has the face of somebody who just walked into a party he wasn't invited to and just expects everybody to be cool with it. You all know who I'm talking about, we all have that one friend. Ranking 4 out of 10. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Captain Fear. Captain Fear looks nothing like your typical pirate, and the weird face he has makes it look like he's clenching his butt cheeks while he's trying to run to the bathroom. I don't know what they were going with the design here, but there's nothing fearful about this guy. Or maybe he's the one that's scared. Ranking 5 out of 10. Detroit Lions, Rory. Rory is a pretty solid looking mascot with some pretty crazy eyes, hair, and teeth. I do like him a lot better when he's a little bit more groomed because he actually does look like a pretty intimidating lion. And he's definitely kids friendly, so that's also a plus. But the way they usually have him is pretty messed up, like he's got 80s rocker hair. However, I will give him extra points for sticking with the Lions through all the decades of failure. Ranking 5 out of 10. Carolina Panthers, Sir Purr. Sir Purr is a pretty solid looking mascot with a very catchy name. I also like that they made him fat because the idea of a fat cat is hilarious to me for some reason. The problem here is, although he's kid-friendly, there's nothing really intimidating about him, and all the best mascots do have at least one intimidation factor. Ranking, solid 5 out of 10. Buffalo Bills, Billy Buffalo. Billy Buffalo just looks like he ripped a big wet fart in his underwear and needs to go change it but can't tell anybody. The rest of this mascot does look pretty solid, but the face just ruins everything, so I'm going to have to deduct points for that. Ranking, 6 out of 10. Pittsburgh Steelers, Steely McBeam. Steely here looks like the type of guy that comes up to you and asks you if you got a problem and if you want to fight about it. Without his teeth, he looks just like a cranky old man, but I do like the name though because it's a callback to the Steel City. Ranking 6 out of 10. Kansas City Chiefs, Casey Wolf. I don't know what it is about this guy, but I just love him. I love everything about him except for his face. He's got this weird looking unibrow thing and those eyes just go everywhere. I do like that he beats up on Raiders fans during the games between the Raiders and the Chiefs, so I will give him extra points for that. Ranking 6 out of 10. 8 out of 10 if they ever do fix the eyes and unibrow. Houston Texans, Toro. I actually like the design of Toro, and obviously he represents the Texas Longhorns. Again though, this does come down to the fact that there's nothing really intimidating about him, but I will say out of all the mascots without intimidation factors, he definitely is the most kid-friendly. Ranking 7 out of 10. Cincinnati Bengals, Houday. Houday is also a pretty solid looking mascot, and he actually does have an intimidation factor with those PED inflated biceps. However, I will deduct points because the whiskers just look weird, like he got struck by a porcupine. Ranking 7 out of 10. Staley the Bear, Chicago Bears. Staley has the same face my father used to have when I would show him my report card and tell him I did study for the big test. He's a pretty solid mascot, and I will give him extra points for recovering from that heart attack he suffered back in 2018 after Cody Parkey double doinked that field goal. Overall, a good mascot. Ranking 7 out of 10. Cleveland Browns, Chomps. Chomps is a very solid mascot and deserves extra points and praise for being the only consistent part of Cleveland the last 25 years. However, I will have to deduct points for him being so aggressive in the face. Ranking though, 8 out of 10. Los Angeles Chargers, Boltman. Okay, I know he's not the official mascot of the Los Angeles Chargers, but you know what? I'm not a fool, so I do recognize him as an official mascot. You see, he wears shoulder pads in case he ever needs to go into games and lifts weights to keep himself into shape. After going on to try and live a normal life, Boltman realized his true home will always be with the Los Angeles Chargers, and has gone back ever since to try and always keep the crowds pumped through thick and thin. What a hero. Ranking 9 out of 10. Philadelphia Eagles, Swoop. Swoop here needs no introduction. He's definitely one of the best mascots in all of the league, and he's one of the most passionate as well, especially with one of the most passionate fan bases. Ranking 9 out of 10. Arizona Cardinals, Big Red. Big Red is definitely one of the best looking mascots in the league. The Arizona Cardinals have been around for 100 years and have literally nothing to show for it. But Big Red has been there through all of the ups and downs, mostly downs though, but he's still our first 10 out of 10. Denver Broncos, Miles. Miles here is a great looking mascot and is what the Colts mascots should look like, but with blue colors instead of orange. He is both child friendly and intimidating, which is a big plus for him being on a team that's been irrelevant ever since Peyton Manning retired. Ranking 10 out of 10. Seattle Seahawks, Blitz. Blitz here is definitely the best mascot out of the bunch. He's got a cool name, he's definitely intimidating, but he's definitely child-friendly as well. It's just too bad the Seahawks didn't have Blitz running the ball in Super Bowl 49. Seriously guys, why did you not give Blitz the ball? You were on the 1 yard line and you handed Tom Brady his 4th ring. Overall though, ranking 10 out of 10.